Hello, and welcome to another episode of Sitting with Shay J, where we explore impact and we inspire change. I'm your host, Shay J, and yes, it's February, so of course, I will be shining a light on Black excellence right here in our very own community. Today, we're going to take a look into a deeper impact with ECMC The College Place's director, Miss Chevy Lowe. Welcome, Chevy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to talk to you today. I know you have a wealth of information for our viewers that are sitting there saying, what is ECMC The College Place? Can you provide an overview of the organization and what your real mission is there?
Yeah, absolutely. So ECMC, The College Place, we're a national nonprofit. In addition to my College Access Center here in Colorado, we have 7 others nationwide. And so our main mission is to make sure that no matter what your socioeconomic status is, you have an opportunity to be able to pursue higher education, whatever that looks like for you. And we want to make sure that it's going to set you on the path for a career that you're passionate about, right? We want there to be purpose behind it. So what we do, we provide free resources to make sure that you can go on whatever path you wish, right? With the least amount of debt as possible.
Where were you at when I was going to school, man? Because I still am trying to pay those debts back. I think this is so critical. I mean, especially in the spirit of Black History Month, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about that and reflect on the historical challenges that we know Black individuals we have faced in education. You know, when we look at what that journey's been like, how do you, Chevy, as a Black woman with over 10 years of experience, really look at how you're affecting higher education, how you're really playing a role in the significance of how you're addressing these challenges right here in our community?
Yeah, so I think for me, being an African-American woman, right, where we are statistically the ones who go into the most amount of debt out of all of the demographics. And so we have the highest student loan rates. And so for me, when I got into education, I said, you know what, I want to be part of the change that I didn't necessarily have. I didn't have the resources. I wasn't aware of the resources. So I want to make sure that underserved populations are getting the resources and they don't have to worry about where the money is going to come from to pay for it, right?
Absolutely. I think that's such a key thing because when we think about school and when we think about finances, a lot of times that's the thing that makes people say, you know what, maybe school isn't for me. Maybe I can't do anything after, leaving high school because my financial status doesn't dictate that. When you start delving into the experiences of students of color, what are the most significant roadblocks that you see commonly faced when attempting to secure the funds for their education? Because we know one thing is knowing, the other part is securing the funds.
Yeah. So knowing is the first part, right? If you don't know, how are you going to pursue securing the funds? And that's where so much of the work that we do comes in at, making sure that students are educated and that they have the resources, and not only them, but their families. A lot of the students we work with are first-generation students, and their families don't know. So they need that resource to say, hey, these are some places where you can seek financial aid, and it all starts with the FAFSA, right? We all know and love the FAFSA, and we've heard so much about it lately. But that's where it starts.
Right.
There's so much more to financial aid. You have scholarships. And that, to me, in addition to the financial aid, FAFSA application is really important because FAFSA is just one piece of it. Scholarships is that second key piece of it. I always tell students, any money that you secure after your tuition and fees are paid with your scholarship money goes into your pocket, which helps you potentially pay for future education if you're going on to further things like if you want to be a doctor or something like that. Some people don't think about some of the aftermath of a bachelor's degree. If you want to pursue a master's or even a doctorate, some of the same grants and aids aren't available. So making sure that students understand the power of scholarships and getting those resources, but it's a huge barrier because sometimes our students in the school system, right? When you think of scholarships, most students think of writing essays.
Right. Absolutely.
That's a huge barrier because it becomes overwhelming, especially in senior year. If we can address the issue earlier and help them with writing personal statements, writing those essays, practicing answering prompts, the less overwhelming it is and the more they're going to be receptive to doing it. But right now, it's a huge barrier and students get frustrated. It becomes a huge barrier.
And one thing you said is students get frustrated, and I think parents do as well, right? Yeah. When it's something we don't understand, we don't know. That's why I think it's so important to have a woman like you in a position that can actually make this process more obtainable, make it where you're meeting families where they're at. You know, I know that we look at a lot of things and say, wow, there's some barriers here, but we want to get through those. FAFSA is a big part of what's happening at the college block party, and I know that that's a process. Can we talk about how that process really breaks down and what that access looks like once they come to your college fair? What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So the FAFSA was delayed this year, and I want to start with this because even if you've done FAFSA in the past, it's not the same as it was last year. So that's key. So even if you've done FAFSA before, you want to make sure that you understand some of the changes and the new nuances of the application for this year. At the block party, we're going to provide those resources. We're going to have partners from Colorado Department of Higher Education, Denver Scholarship Foundation, Gear Up, Ada La Gente Maher. We're going to have a lot of different organizations supporting and actually helping you complete the FAFSA or the CASFA. So if you are a student that does not have a Social Security number and you want state aid, we are going to have representatives there to help you fill out that application as well.
That is such a huge ordeal. You really delved into some of the things I was going to ask you. I know this is a collaborative ordeal in order to get the community involved. You have so many collaborative partners. I know there's going to be these different components there. Who else might we be able to expect at the block party to join you along?
Yeah, absolutely. So from day one, the Colorado Department of Higher Education has been key in making sure that this happens. K-Tone Cares Foundation, DJ K-Tone, he's huge. And if you see, he's the one who initially in the community during the pandemic had these pop-up block parties for the community. And I said, what if we did that for FAFSA and got, help some students bring some fun to it and take some of the overwhelm out of it, right? And he was on board from day one. And so from there, we've been able to create magic with our Gear Up partners. And again, so many people. CU Denver has been a huge support. They're going to be giving away a $1,000 scholarship on site day of, yes, and we're going to be able to have it at their fantastic Student Wellness Center. So we're going to have a lot of schools in the building: MSU, CU Boulder, Regis, Sachs Foundation, Denver Scholarship Foundation. Again, we're going to have community college. Our community college system is showing up. We're going to have multiple ones there. We're going to have schools in career and tech. We're going to have advanced EDU. We're going to have resources for our refugee, immigrant, and asylum students as well. Hands to the Future is an amazing organization, nonprofit organization that provides support for our immigrant families, and we're going to have resources there for students all across the board. Construction management, career type things, real estate. Denman Group is going to be there. It's going to be phenomenal.
I love it. This is not just for one type of student. This is not just for one type of family. You're talking about refugees families. So if you're at home and you're saying, we don't have a Social Security card, you can come. If you're talking about, I need funding, I need to connect with someone, there are going to be giveaways. So many beautiful things happening in one location. So I'm like, why would you not be there? For individuals who are not even sure if they qualify, they're not sure if their student wants to go to college afterwards, should they be coming to this fair? Should they be reaching out to you? What should those families be doing when they're not quite sure yet what the next step is?
100%. If I can say this, in 2022, Colorado alone left over $30 billion of financial aid money unclaimed. $30 billion just in Colorado. In Colorado 2022, we were 45th out of all of the states for FAFSA completion. We are trying to increase those numbers through the power of collaboration. So even if you think that you're not eligible for something, you still come because you don't know what you're eligible for. And what a lot of families also don't realize is the FAFSA is also a gateway to other funding sometimes. So sometimes organizations just request to see your confirmation for FAFSA. They want to know that you completed it. It's also a way to create equity when giving out money, making sure that they're issuing it to students in the most need first, and then even some students who aren't traditional need students, making sure that they have an opportunity to get funding as well. So it really is a gateway. Even if you're not getting a federal grant, you still want to complete the FAFSA.
Come on, why would you not be there? I mean, this makes so much sense when you're trying to plan what is next and when you're not sure. I always say it's better to have and not need than to need and not have. And this looks like the perfect opportunity. As we conclude this conversation, Chevy, you've been a wealth of knowledge. And I'm just hoping someone told a friend about this because I know someone could absolutely use this. As a Black woman at the forefront of really making sure that you're providing help for our youth and our parents, and you're really providing financial aid empowerment, and what I'm excited to see. You're helping making these decisions. What is the most rewarding part for you?
So that's a two-part answer question. So one, working with the families, I think the best exclamation I always get is when they see the screen at what financial aid or scholarships that they receive, they go, really? And I think for me, it seems simple, but it's really nice because they're like, we didn't know, we had no idea that we would qualify or even be able to get this. And so to be able to be at the person at the other side of that resource to say, I can help you and I can walk you through that, I feel like is the most rewarding part. And that thank you at the end, it never gets old. It never gets old. And then the second part is working with my collaborators across the state. So with ECMC, yes, financial aid is a heavy part of what we do, but we also help schools, organizations with other components of that college path or your pathway after high school, right? Whether it's essay writing, whether it's career exploration, and then even the scholarship search. We partner with our school counselors. We partner with the representatives at colleges. We partner with other community-based organizations. And I think one of the most rewarding pieces is sometimes when I'm in the room and even a counselor or an advisor, they come up to me and they say, I learned something today.
Yeah.
That to me, if I can be that gap, that kind of, that bridge, that kind of, bridging the gap,
You
right?
are, absolutely.
Between that, I think that is so rewarding. That makes it all worth it in the end, is to be a resource and a knowledge base for those who need it.
Oh my God, I know I got a wealth of information, and I'm sure you did at home as well. A heartfelt thank you to you, Chevy, and all that you're doing. What I love is that Black excellence isn't a monolithic thing. There's so many people doing brilliant things right here in our own community. So thank you for being a highlight in our Black Excellence series. We are so excited to shine a light on the work you're doing and how you're affecting our youth and the parents right here in the community. And thank you guys for watching. Make sure you stay connected. Chevy's information is there. You want to connect with her, and you want to be at the block parties. I know you have one on March 3rd as well.
March 16th.
March 16th.
That one's in Pueblo at the Pueblo Convention Center.
Bam. March 16th, February 17th, whatever one you can make it to, you absolutely want to be there while you're trying to figure out what's next. Thank you guys for connecting with us, and thank you for watching. You're watching Shay J, where we explore impact and we inspire change. Thank you for sitting with Shay J. Keep doing the beautiful work in your communities. Until next time, make sure you keep on making a difference and keep having the hard conversations.